It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And coming up next, it's a cross-conference showdown. It's the Cincinnati Bengals and the Chicago Bears under the lights on Sunday night.
About 3 inches of the white stuff has fallen, and the prognosticators say still 3 to 5 more to come tonight in Chicago as we welcome you to football under the lights at snowy Soldier Field. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Gardner alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather. Snow and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
Evan McPherson has this one teed up, and off we go from Soldier Field. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their rookie quarterback, the latest in a long line of NFL QBs from USC.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
First carry for DeAndre Swift. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Throwing is Williams. Eluding the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year. Part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
From the 43, here's 2nd and 2. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. Oh, good move. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It was Mike Hilton up to make the tackle.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Ball at the 14 for 2nd and 5. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Working out of the gun, Williams. Flush to his right. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. That one goes for 8 yards.
Oh, man. Just when the D thought they had the answer for it, he went and changed the question. Surprises him by taking off himself. Is able to set up his offense pretty with a 1st and goal.
Here's Swift. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. One more time with Swift. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. DeAndre Swift. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Bears will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Well, Charles, clearly they wanted to send a message there and impose their will. They score on their opening possession on a drive comprised entirely of rushing the football.
Message sent. I don't know that the team on the other side of the field wanted to receive it, but what a statement on their opening drive. Just run it all the way downfield, no passes. That absolutely sets the tone that they're going to be physical in this game.
After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
Hey, we all love a good story, and what we like even more, guys who can fight through adversity. Joe Burrow coming out of high school, goes to Ohio State, doesn't get a chance to start, transfers to LSU, not thought to be a top prospect, ends up the #1 pick in the draft, and justifies it. Tremendous play, excellent mobility, and leadership off the charts.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. The slot man in motion right. Now he's going to get it on the jet sweep. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, I sure wouldn't be surprised if we see more of this as this game goes on because we know they like to use their wideouts either on quick throws or on jet sweeps like what we just saw there. And to say that that one worked well, partner, that's stating the obvious.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and a couple. From the gun, a give to Brown. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus, and indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 27. Play action. It's Burrow. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Just nowhere to go with the football. He was forced to put that one into Lake Michigan. I think his receivers have to do a better job of working free because he didn't have anywhere to go at all on that play.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Off the play fake. Here's Burrow. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Bengals are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Here's Burrow. Touchdown, Bengals. Chase Brown from 10 yards out. And the Bengals are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield in the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
Evan McPherson for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. Solid return. Pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive. You see the numbers, all those carries. If you get that many carries in the drive, you better finish it with a touchdown, and he did.
Yeah, and deservedly so, right? Because we've seen times like the Carolina Panthers, sometimes Jonathan Stewart to carry the ball all the way down, and then Cam, he's such a great goal line runner, he'll carry it in. But in this case, though, that didn't happen. The fellow lugging the load, he's the one who got to reap the reward.
Yeah, there was no touchdown vulture here. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now 3rd down and 7. To throw, it's Williams. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big 30-yard
as my dad would say sometimes. I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
So from 135 all the way over to the other. Here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw is Williams. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Here's Williams. A quick throw there is incomplete.
I like the call. It looked like the right time to dial up a running back screen. But this one got disrupted right from the start and ends up falling incomplete.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. To the air once more. Williams. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in a shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
He's got Lewis. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now 2nd and 5. To throw, Williams. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Throwing again here, Williams. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? They'll look to throw for it with Williams. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down as his Cincy defense stands up on 3rd. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Santos' kick is up and through. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And the Bengal offense going to see the ball one more time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Now it's Burrow. Able to find Higgins. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Here's 2nd and 3. Now it's Burrow. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Burrow will throw. Over the middle, he finds Higgins. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Burrow looking to pass. Throw out wide is incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try to pick up another first down.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again, it's Burrow. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
Well, he left no doubt about that one because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there was no way that ball was going to be caught.
Final play of the half for Burrow and company. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
We watched a solid performance out of running back DeAndre Swift. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Bengal offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the third quarter. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's second down and 7. This one complete to Yoshivas. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
First down, Bengals.
They will toss to Brown. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Now Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be second down.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. And the old
pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third.
Was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
Burrow on his toes that time as they get the first down. With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 41. Shotgun handoff to Brown here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half.
Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Play action. Now Williams.
Caught by Allen. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 14 yards and a Chicago first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
To the air, Williams.
He's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. And he goes out right around the 39. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Swift going to try up the middle.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
Williams from the gun on 3rd down.
8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter.
Throwing is Williams.
Being chased out left. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
It's getting cold in here, partner, because it looks like he's trying to ice this one away. Yeah, I know, bad dad joke, but what the heck, right? Scrambling for that first after the D blanket his receivers, that's a backbreaker for the defense. They finished this drive off with 6, and this one could be over.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 down at the 31.
To throw, it's Williams. That's complete to DeAndre Swift out of the backfield.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
64 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
They'll try and run here with Swift.
And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the fourth quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
Once again, it's Swift.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And he's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 2nd and goal now as they look for that final dagger.
Swift diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown.
Well, he's been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Santos now to add the PAT. It's good to make it 17-7. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. So Burrow and the Bengals
down by 10. A minute 54 on the clock. Their offense has struggled all night, and now they need to find 2 scores late to try to pull this thing out.
Burrow. And that's into the hands of Gesicki.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Here's Burrow. That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki.
5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Throwing, Burrow. Open man is Yoshivas.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Here's 2nd and a yard. To throw, Burrow.
Flushed out right.
And he'll be brought down with a penalty flag on the field. It was a late decision to throw, and it might have been too late.
We knew he was close to the line of scrimmage, and they say he stepped over.
When you see him in that position, you think he's become a runner. As a DB, you start to react towards the line of scrimmage. They can often throw it over your head.
Burrow.
And that is incomplete.
Well, Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. Now Burrow.
Now he'll escape to his left.
And even though he gets out of bounds to stop the clock, it's not going to matter. That 1st down going to be enough to write a finish to this one.
So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
The Bears offense and running back DeAndre Swift headed back onto the field. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the officials saw, as this play will stand as is. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. One final kneel down here as it comes inside the 40-second mark, and that should be enough to put this one on ice.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.